With billions of records at your fingertips, Findmypast is a treasure trove of historical records and images, many that you won't find anywhere else. While its primary focus has always been on the United Kingdom, Findmypast also has extensive collections from Ireland, Australia, and North America. But here's the good part. Even though Findmypast is a subscription site, you don't have to pay a penny to enjoy some of the fantastic features. In this video, I'll explore some of those features that you can take full advantage of, such as tree functionality, the people profile functionality, the extensive available search and record availability, and finally we'll explore some of the broader research features available on a free account. But before we dive in, I'd like your support by liking this video or subscribing to my channel. Your encouragement lets me know I'm creating content that resonates with you, so thanks in advance for your support. So let's get started now with Findmypast. First things first, create a free account by visiting the logon page. Remember, we don't want to create a free subscription or trial account that will move into a subscription. We want to create a free account that will grant you access without any commitment to a subscription. Now we've created the free account, let's get started. Here I've logged on to Findmypast, and just to show that this is a completely free subscription, here I don't have an active subscription. So let's go ahead and see what we can find that's available to use on this free subscription. So I've got a family tree. I have all the normal access that we'd have in a paid account regarding building trees. I can view all my trees, I can create a tree, I can import a tree, and I can search through the trees. So I did load earlier on a JEGCOM file for Ernest Hemingway's family. There's only 17 people in now. And I can export it. I've got different settings. I can delete it. And I can actually share a tree as well, and have a tree shared to me. So all the functionality in terms of building trees in a free account as you would get in a paid account. So let's pop into the Hemingway family tree and see what's available on profiles. I've got a Grace Hall here, who's Ernest's mother. And I can look at her profile as we drill down. And this is an overview. I've added these facts and events already myself, basically, and we can see those in the overview. So I added that. I also added a photograph, so showing that this is a fully functional profile system. We can see the different relations. I can add relationships. I can make notes. The only thing I don't have full access to is the hint system. So let's have a quick look at the hints. Now you may find some hints let you through, but for the most part, hints are not available on a free account. So family trees, if I click on review here, I will get an invitation to join Findmypast, rightly so. And the same with the census records. I can still save it for later, but I can't get to it. The good thing here is that it's actually told me where to go and look. So if I've got access to a free account somewhere else that has the 1920 census, I can actually see this. And if I do click on review, it will give me some idea of what's in the record. So this is not a complete dead end. It certainly has some use to it. So let's go ahead and actually take a quick look at Ernest Hemingway, who's a focus person for this. So let's look at Ernest's profile here. And he has a couple of hints here. So let me see if I can try and pull up any hints he has within his account. If I do the review here, I do in fact have some access. So as I said earlier, I do have access to some hints. It's not terribly easy to figure out what hints are available and which are not. It's a bit of a case of trial and error. But you can see I've got this marriage and divorce record. I actually can accept this into my tree. So if we can see we've got two hints, I'll accept this hint to my tree, which obviously I wouldn't do. Normally I wouldn't accept a hint without doing all the research and probably adding it manually, but I'm just using this for demo purposes. And we can see the information's been added. The number of hints have dropped to 1. So in terms of Findmypast in the trees and the hints, the tree system is fully functional, the profile system is fully functional, and the hints are a little bit hit and miss, but certainly some information available on the hints there. So let me go ahead and see what search functions available to me in the free account. So we'll type into the full records here. We'll type in an English name that everybody should know pretty well. Winston Churchill. He was actually born in 1874, so let's just put that in here so we don't get too many records. We've still got 40,000. We'll do a search here of that. Winston Churchill. There's 40,000 records, and maybe I can go down to, we all know he's involved in the military during the war. And in fact, very much like the profiles and the hints, there's some records we can look at here, and I'll just pick one out at random, which gives a lot of information about Winston Churchill. And there's another one down here. Let me just look at this one for Ireland. That will not be available without a subscription. So a little bit hit and miss. We can see again, because I can see some details of the searches, I can actually move around pretty well and see, what's going to be available to me maybe in other areas. Let me click over to civil births and civil deaths again for Churchill here, and I can find his actually birth record here, and it tells me where this is in the birth records of Woodstock, Oxfordshire, and gives some other records featuring the name. So very useful. Like the hints, I can get to a lot of things here for free. So because the trial period is only 7 days, it would be much more benefit to actually get the free account, have a good look around before you commit to a subscription. But here we are. Some of the records subscriptions, some of the records are not. One of the most important records within Findmypast and currently not available anywhere else is the 1921 census. And this works a slightly different way. So maybe I can put Winston Churchill's name in again here. And we'll see if he's on the census. So the way this would work differently is I've got one result, and I can actually pay for this just this one record, $4.90. So this works as a pay-as-you-go subscription on the 1921 census, which is the latest census that's been released in England. So that's a lot of useful information, and it's a way to get at the census without actually having a subscription. I believe currently if you have the subscription, the census is fully available. So having looked at all this information here, let's finally go across to see what research data is available through Findmypast. Before we go there, this is quite useful on Findmypast as well. There's a running total of all the records I've looked at here. So that's always very, very useful to go back and see what I've seen. And I can style these actually if I can make some comments. So if I've been able to get through to them on my free account, I can always annotate it that way. But let's go back and look at help. And if I go to the History Hub, there's lots of great information here on Findmypast that you can access for free. A lot of information about getting started building a tree, how to look at family records here, lots of good articles. Obviously focused on UK and Australia, Canada, the US. And then History Hub, again, a lot of good information, maybe more contextual information about your research as well. And then finally, there's a community that has some papers here. So well worth looking around if you're doing British, Irish, Australian, Canadian, and in some aspects, US research. So what we've looked at, what's available here for the completely free account before you choose to subscribe, is the tree functionality we looked at, which is virtually identical to paid subscription. I've looked at the people profile, and again, like the tree, almost identical except for hints that you can build a very functional tree here if you wish on a free account. The search and catalog system is fully available. Not all records you can view, but you can certainly look at the catalog. The 1921 census we saw is available on a pay-as-you-go basis, and then finally we've looked at the kind of research that's available. So again, very feature-rich free account here. You can add it to. There's no commitment to you to create this. Once you've created it, you can just put it in your back pocket and use it as you need. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope it's been useful, and I hope you'll tune into some of the other videos and like my channel. Thank you.